Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and another episode of Kanji Buff. And today we have 3 kanji. And first, I'd like to promote the Patreon. Thank you guys so much for your support, supporting the channel and Kanji Buff and Relearn Japanese and my skits and my gaming channel and everything. I really do appreciate it. And if you'd like to go the extra mile and support your content creator, I get nothing from YouTube, so any kind of financial support does help. And really, thank you so much, all my patrons, for supporting the channel. But anyway, let's get started with today's episode. So we have 3 kanji, and the first one is kona, and this means powder or flour. So we have 3 readings here. We have kona, ko, and hun. So you'll usually see it in the word cornstarch, which is like fragmented walnut flour, which is what we see here. So it's katakuriko. So cornstarch. Then we have kahun, which is pollen. We also have komugiko. So komugiko is small wheat flour, right? So that's where that comes from. And if you understand that this radical here means rice. This radical here means rice. So imagine there's a rice plant and you're splitting this rice plant in half, because we know that this means to separate, this kanji, wakaru, right? And we're just imagining that we're splitting that right down the middle and all this powder comes out. And that powder is what you use to make flour. So you split a rice plant in half and it will pour out powder, and you can use it to make flour for your child, for your ko. So it's very simple. It's a very useful kanji. You'll see it a lot at the grocery stores, so be on the lookout for this one. Now, the second one here is ryo, and some references will say this means cooking, but I like to say this means more like materials, because it can be used in different contexts, not just cooking. So it only has one reading, and it's ryo, and that means materials. So we have ryori, right? So ryori, this means cooking. Then we have kyuryo, so salary materials. So that's why it doesn't make sense to make this kanji mean cooking, when it could just mean materials. So it's better that you go with materials. We also have ryokin, which is fees as well, so material fees. So not necessarily cooking. So on your ryo boat, you use materials to cook some food. Using your ladle, this means ladle here. It literally looks like a ladle. And some rice, you make onigiri via cooking. So that's pretty good. That's pretty easy, yeah. Let's move on to the next one, the last one here for today, which is ha. And basically, this is just that mouth, and there's some rice in the mouth, and the little rice look like your teeth, and your mouth is stopped open, and you can see the teeth, right? So that's where it comes from. You can stop your mouth open and show your teeth, which look like billions of pieces of rice, you could say. And that when you stop your mouth open, when you're laughing, so your mouth is open when you're laughing, right? So we have ha, and then we have shi. So never really see the shi reading, but ha, you do see that a lot. So ha means teeth, and then we have haisha, which means dentist, right? So super easy, barely like an inconvenience, and a good one to know. Now, let's go to our worksheet. So we have the first one, of course, we already know, and then we have our second one here, which I'd like to go over now. So we have 5 kanji here. Of course, we have some of the kanji from before and some of the kanji now, and we have 3 sentences, and we'll go over the first one. And remember that you can download this on the Patreon if you become a $5 patron to support the channel. And there's a lot of stuff on the Patreon for you guys to have, so it's not just some sort of like pity party, give me money kind of thing. There's a lot of things that I'm working on for you guys and giving you guys that extra value on top of skits and stuff. So if you'd like to support the channel, it's on Patreon. And by the time I finish this spiel, you probably already screenshotted this worksheet, and you wouldn't have no reason to go on the Patreon anyway. Anyway, so このサービスを使いたいけど、何々金はいくらですか? So we kind of talked about that. Do you remember? 料金. That's right. It's 料金. Okay, so 料金 material money. To use the materials, how much is it to use your service? What are the fees? What are the charges? And then we have the hidden kanji, of course, and you guys can decipher that on your own. But anyway, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching and supporting the channel. We'll have another episode of Relearn Japanese coming up, and Japanglish Times articles are on the Patreon as well, if you'd like to enjoy that. There's also music and ringtones and all that kind of fun stuff on there. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.